Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Well, as y'all can see, I'm in the ER. I did not want to come here, but I was pretty much forced to come. I have asthma really bad, so I think my asthma is acting up. And they're checking me now for blood clots in my lungs because I've had blood clots in the past. And you know they gave me that old COVID swab test up my nose. I about died. I can't stand those tests. But hopefully they'll send me home. They can get my breathing under control. Well, I was just checking in. Wanted everybody to know what was going on in my life out here in this COVID world. I couldn't just be in the COVID streets today. I had to go all the way into the emergency room. And you know, I've been trying to avoid that like the plague. I did not want to come in this emergency room. But after talking to my primary, he told me he think that was the best thing for me to do. So that's where I am. Sitting up here amongst all the COVID ears. I might be one of them myself. But we'll see. I'll let you know if I am. Okay, so I'm still in the ER. I'm waiting for some tests to come back, but they found that I do have, of course, the asthma is really in rare form. And also, bronchitis is active. But one thing I was thinking about while I was in the ER, you know, everybody out here is so very nice. All the nurses and everything, male and female, all of them are so nice. But I was really shocked to find out that these nurses, when they get COVID in this hospital, they don't pay these people. I mean, they getting COVID right here in the hospital. They having to take off 10 to 14 days, but no pay. I think that's cruel. And you know good time well they cannot pay them because they said they can't prove that they caught it. Now, if you're working in the ER and all the COVID people in Jacksonville is coming here in this ER, and then you turn around, all the employees that just come to this ER where they work, employees' health, to get swabbed. But yet when one of your employees in the ER catches COVID, you don't want to take responsibility for it.
All right, my dear.
So I think that's a terrible thing for them not to take responsibility for their employees catching COVID in the ER. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Well, it's been a few days since I shot that first half of the video with me being in the hospital. I was in the emergency room. I tell you, I was going through it. That asthma was acting up. Then the bronchitis kicked in. I didn't know it was two different kinds of bronchitis. I know I usually get the bronchitis, but then I had acute bronchitis. I'm still not 100, but I feel a whole lot better than I did. But you know, while I was in the emergency room, I was talking to so many different of the different nurses, male and female, because you know I talk to everybody like I know them. So I was talking to different ones, and they were coming in the room talking to me. And you know, I was just surprised just talking to them, and I was asking them how in the world do they make it in that emergency room and dealing with this COVID because it's so bad. Because, honey, I'm just going to tell you, I was petrified to go to I was pretty much forced to go into that emergency room because I wanted no parts of the emergency room because I know COVID is in the hospitals. But I was surprised when I got there. It was only like, I think one person in the emergency room. And by the time they checked me in, I was the only one in the emergency room. So it didn't even take that long for them to get me checked in. But I was talking to different ones out there, and I'm just in awe how they could work in there. And you know, some of them, excuse me, I'm surprised how some can work in there and don't get COVID. I mean, some of them do, but for the most part, For the most part, they don't. But you know, I was also surprised the fact, being a big old hospital like that, and they take such good care of their patients at this particular hospital. Excuse me, I'm still full of it. This asthma. I'm surprised that when their employees get COVID, especially those that work in the ER. Now they taking care of all the people off the street that's coming through that emergency room with COVID. They swabbing all those positive patients. Plus all of the employees that work at this particular hospital. All of the employees, when they get sick, they have to come to that emergency room and get swabbed. So that ER staff, I mean, the whole hospital is being exposed, but especially the ER because they're on the front line. They catch everything that comes through the door before it even go up on the floor. But did you know that you have to excuse me, I'm wearing Invisaligns now, and I tell you they got me messing up with my talking. But did you know that these people working in these hospitals, when they get COVID and they have to quarantine 10 to 14 days, they don't get paid? I was just in shock to hear that. I said, you mean this big old hospital here in this big old city, living here in Jacksonville, Florida, they got all this beautiful waterfront property, but y'all got y'all employees working, catching COVID, but you're not paying them when they have to be at home and not able to work. Their bills don't stop. And then they have such good people working at this particular hospital. So I don't want to be mean to the hospital, but you know who you are. You got all these people working in the hospital and all these employees getting sick. You don't take responsibility for that? Then they told me that the hospital tell them that they can't prove that they caught it at the hospital. What? They can't prove it. Of course they caught it there. All the people's coming through the front door with COVID. And then we just came out of a surge here in Jacksonville, Florida. So it was so many people in that hospital. Everybody coming through the doors pretty much had COVID. They was losing 16, 20 people a week at this particular hospital from COVID. So you saying they can't prove that they caught it there? You know that they caught it from there. And it's really bad because this particular hospital is amazing. Their workers, every time I go to that hospital, it's nothing bad that I can say about any of the workers there. They are the nicest people. All of them. They go above and beyond taking care of you and making sure that you're comfortable. But in that emergency room, the hospital itself not taking responsibility and taking care of their employees, I was really shocked and appalled by it all. I'm just so disappointed in this particular hospital. I thought for sure they took care of their people better than that. Because their people are taking care of their customers. Because you see, those people in the emergency room, they're worried about lives. They're lifesavers. That's what they're interested in, saving lives. Those doctors and those emergency room workers and those people working on the floors, the registered nurses and the CNAs and technicians, they're worrying about lives. The higher ups, they're worrying about money. It's only a business to them. But you need to use some of that money to take care of your employees when they get full of COVID. These employees have families. They got their little children they have to pay for. They got car notes. They have mortgages. They have electrical bills they have to pay. They have to buy groceries. They have things to do. Just because they get COVID doesn't mean that their life stops. They still have elderly or sickly parents that live with them that they have to take care of. They got things around their house, maintenance that they have to take care of. And then when they get COVID, sometimes their elderly parents get it too because they're living in the home with them. They bring COVID into their homes. But y'all don't take responsibility for that, saying that they can't prove that they caught it there. I think that is so uncaring, and I'm truly shocked at this particular hospital. I mean, y'all are so well established. You're sitting everywhere throughout Jacksonville. Surely you can handle your employees on a different matter like that. Surely you can handle your employees differently, because the way you're doing it, it's dead to the wrong. It's wrong. It's uncaring. And especially the fact that they work so hard in your behalf. They love the patients, but they're team players at that hospital. All of them work together and they're kind. And they're going through all of that. But the patients, we never see it because they still treating us good. It's really a great hospital. The people. But I can see that the upper people, the management, the higher ups, they're not handling their business correctly. And I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the people, because, you know, I was just wondering how many other hospitals handle their employees like that. Are all the hospitals not taking responsibility for their workers when they catch COVID? Especially those on the front line and like in the emergency room. That's just like the firemen and the police, but they're the first one to go into these houses when stuff happens. The first responders. Those in the emergency room, they're first responders too, as I can see. Because that's where everybody have to go. Even when the firemen and the policemen get hurt, they got to go to that emergency room. So you see, the emergency room, they're handling everything. But they're not being appreciated the way that they should be. But I was just really shocked about that. And I think that's something that the hospitals really need to think about and work on, because I really appreciate that the care that I got from the hospital. They took such good care of me, and they were so kind to me. Because when I walked in those doors, I was so sick. I was really sick, and they took good care of me. They did all kind of tests to make sure that I didn't have blood clots in my lungs, because that's what I'm known for having. So they really took good care of me, and I really appreciate the fine service that I got from that hospital. But you know, I just want everybody to be careful, because I've been trying so hard to keep COVID out of my house. And when I was in the hospital, when they was doing all those tests, I didn't know whether they was going to find COVID or not. Because like I had told you all previously in a video, that my little 6-year-old foster son, I mean, he just got over COVID. He had it, and he had it pretty bad. He was very sick. So I didn't know if I had caught it from him. It was just a relayed response to me catching it, you know, after him, or what. Because at first I was thinking, well, surely if I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it at the same time he got it. But then when I didn't get it, I said, maybe I'm going to get sick later. So when I got sick, I didn't know what it was. But my biggest mind was taking me back to upper respiratory, because I know I'm known for that too. I get an upper respiratory infection because of the asthma, and then the bronchitis always kicks in. Now that bronchitis is a beast. That bronchitis is worse than the asthma. It makes your whole body hurt, all in your chest, your back, your sides. If there's someone has never had it, I hope you never have bronchitis, because it's very painful. And then at night, I can't sleep because I'm up coughing all night. But it's okay, because this too shall pass. So I just have to be patient and continue to take my medication and go through it. Because living in this time that we're living in, all kind of stuff is going to happen and is happening. So we just got to man up, as they say, and be ready for it. Because before things get better, it's going to get a whole lot worse in the system that we're living in today. But I just wanted to check in and let you guys see where I was in the ER. And you know, I didn't want to go in there with COVID. I was scared. But I was in there amongst the other COVID people. But thank you so much for watching my video. And like always, everything in this video is in Miss V's opinion. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video, okay? Bye-bye.